largest impact we make is just by using timber that comes from sustainable sources. So we have to check all our certified suppliers that they actually go right the way back to managed and planned forestry. And not using sustainable timber, it tends to be a lower quality timber, and the wastage, the amount of wood that cannot be used to the final product is much, much larger, and therefore it's self-defeating because although it's cheaper, you've wasted more and only used a small amount of the product for your product. What we've tried to do is recycle as much as possible, and we take the larger pieces of waste timber and now set aside, and once a month we take them down to our children's school so they can use them in their DT projects.
The business as a whole has a very positive impact on the environment. Since we launched, over 3,000 baby items, that's prams, cots, high chairs, have been reused by local Wandsworth families. These are items that otherwise might just be stored in cellars or lofts, or worse still, just dumped. Reusing these items, these families don't have to buy them new, so hence saving valuable resources.
Wonderful.
When you become a mother, you're much more concerned about the environment, and I find that one of the simplest and indeed the cheapest ways to sort of save resources is just consume less. So my advice to entrepreneurs would be to really think long and hard about the product they're launching. Do consumers really want it? Do they really need it? I think they should also look at the manufacturing processes, what energy and what resources are being used to produce it. Is it being produced ethically? And I think the end product should be something that's a very good quality product, something that's got a lot of life in it that can be used and passed down for generations.
Well, myself and my brother set the restaurant up about 6 years ago. The idea was to set up a fine dining British restaurant using quality British produce without kind of stuffy service. Basically, I found that when we went to good quality restaurants, you tended to feel a little bit uncomfortable. We tried to be overall environmentally aware. The main area I think that where we have an impact is by sourcing British produce. It's obviously cutting down on road miles or ruling out air miles. It does make a big difference. The whole food sourcing side of things, be it the fish, the meat straight from farms, fish coming from day boats, all of it has a sort of, it minimises the impact on the environment. It has a massive impact on the quality of the produce that you use. If you're using small, sort of passionate suppliers, that passion that they put into the produce comes through in the flavour. It definitely has an effect, but obviously it is more expensive as well. Generally speaking, people who are environmentally aware tend to care a little bit more, and the staff that we have here are all environmentally aware, and so they do care a little bit more about their work. They care about being environmentally friendly as they're working as well, so they waste a lot less. It creates a unity because we're all working towards the same goal.
Well, Let's All Share was a company that I devised out of predominantly frustration. I got fed up of constantly going out, buying things which weren't cheap, roof boxes, extendable ladders, only to find out sort of 2 weeks after I'd bought it that a friend of mine had it and would have quite happily have lent it to me if only I'd asked them the question. And it kind of got me thinking of how many things we all have in our garages, at homes, that we kind of buy, use rarely, and actually we could have just borrowed them from somebody else, and in borrowing them, not have gone out, not have made a purchase, not had effectively wasted packaging and so forth. So what Let's All Share does is it allows people to go out to create their own little trusted sharing groups, people that they know, and to actually give them an opportunity to say, hey, I've got this, this and this, and if you'd ever like to borrow it, just let me know. Well, I think up until now, being environmentally friendly was always something that people sort of tagged onto their business. You know, we sell cars, but actually they're environmentally friendly because they've only got a CO2 output of X. I think there's a real opportunity out there for people to look upon business through an environmental perspective and say, well, how can I actually make money from being environmentally friendly?
We were using in excess of 3,000 towels a week, laundering 3,000 towels a week with detergent, with at 100-degree wash, including all the transportation costs of laundry towels being picked up every morning, delivered every day. We now have one delivery of